POC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from a familiar company. This is GooDee, and this is one of their projectors. This is the BL98 high definition 1080p projector, and it's supposedly pretty good. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the box, discuss some of its qualities, some of its features, what it looks like, all the inputs and outputs, and see what it comes with. And then you'll go to the website where we'll have more information about this later with a full review. But we're going to also have some footage later on in today's video. But again, this is the GooDee BL98. It's a 1080p native projector. It's not their flagship. It's kind of like the model down from their flagship, so it's a little bit more affordable for those looking to not spend too much. And we'll have links for both of these in the description as well, just for your own research. But let's go ahead and break it open and see what it looks like. Now this bad boy has, it's your typical modern projector with modern delivered box here, so the box is a little bit banged up. The delivery companies aren't always nice with the things they bring to your door. But it has about a 50,000 lamp hour life to it. So it is going to, again, modern. It's going to last you quite a long time, or it should at least. And it has the ability to scale up to 300 inches for your image. So you got a huge screen. So I think the smallest is around like 50 or so, or 30, 50. Obviously it's a projector, you're gonna wanna go bigger than that, So you're probably gonna shoot for more, closer to 100 or larger, but again, it can get you up to 300 inches for a screen, which is really good, especially for an affordable projector. We do like their flagship one. Again, we'll have a product link in the description, but we do love it. So this is probably gonna come out looking not just as good, but pretty good. It's gonna have the same expectations from us, at least going into it, so kind of high standards, but we'll see. You're gonna wanna be able to put this from your screen, somewhere between 4 to 25 feet is what they're suggesting, and that's a lot due to the focus capabilities of the projector. 'Cause some of these don't even have focus, it just depends on where you put it, and if you go outside of the range, then it's going to be a blurred image and there's nothing you can do about it. But 4 to 25 feet, that's a pretty good range, and that pretty much tells us we do have some focus capabilities here. And already, we see two different knobs here right on the top, and this is usually going to give you some kind of zoom in, zoom out, and focus capabilities. So that's good, because again, some of these do not give you any focus, so you're kind of limited to like a 5-6 foot range from where you're able to shoot from, which doesn't give you such a large range on your, the size of the image you're able to obtain from small to large. But the projector looks really nice. It's got a 2-color tone. You have this kind of like a very light gray here, or maybe an off-white, grayish white color going around the top and the bottom and around the back. You have this nice accent going all the way, or the silver kind of chrome going around the sides and the front here that has a really nice design to it. It's really actually nice. So it's not going to be an eyesore by any means. You can actually put this in your living room, not just like a den or anything like that. You can actually put this anywhere and not worry about it sticking out like a sore thumb. People are going to look at it and they're going to go, hey, what is that? That looks kind of interesting. So that's cool. They got designed down. Again, you got your focus and zoom right here in the front. You have an IR receiver right here for a remote access, so that way you don't have to climb up there to adjust anything if you have it hanging. Looks like you don't on the back side, so you do have to hit it from the front, which is fine. We have right here on the top here, we have a touchscreen system, or not really touchscreens, touch panel for all of your options. So you have your up, down, left, right, you have your back, okay. This actually might be another infrared receiver, so you can probably hit it directly from underneath the projector, which is even better. You have an OK, or actually this looks like a menu button. You have an exit, another menu button. So exit, menu button, power button. Again, so far it looks pretty good. On the bottom side, we have rubberized feet, so if you want to sit this on a surface and just shoot it straight from, like a shelving unit or a table somewhere, that's fine. It's not going to slide around on you or anything. You also have different options for mounting this, so you have the holes for that. So if you do want to use a mount to mount this to the ceiling with, it should be able to support some of those mounts that are standard for projectors. On the back side of the projector here, we have multiple inputs. It gives you lots of flexibility. You have 2 USB inputs, which is interesting. And that's going to be for things like, pictures and videos and everything that you might have on a thumb drive, which we're going to use later actually for our demonstration when we actually hook this up to show you what it looks like. Then you have two HDMIs right underneath those. So you have two different inputs that you can come from, you know, like let it be a receiver, a gaming console, or a DVD player gaming console, however you want to mix that up. You have a VGA input, so if you're, I'm just going to throw it out there, old and outdated, and you refuse to throw away your old stuff, or maybe you just, you know, you have some vintage equipment that you don't want to let go because it's actually worth something, it has some sentimental value to you, in which case then I take that comment back, you know, I'll be nice this round. But VGA is outdated, let's admit it, you know, nobody really uses VGA anymore except for some of those really old school analog pieces of equipment like I mentioned, that's actually has some vintage value to it, but it's there just in case. And which is cool. You have two different options here. You have a 3.5 millimeter AV input, it looks like. So you have a breakout to, which is going to be for composite, for bringing in some of your other analog devices into. You have a headphone out, which is useful, so you can get some audio out of this using headphones. So if you want to put an adapter or something like in, you know, something that's going to give you some wireless headphones, that's going to be a really nice option for this. You have an SD input, which is going to be similar to, well, it's exactly for what the function of the USB ports are for. So it's going to be for pictures, video, anything else you want to stick on there that the projector supports. You have your basic on and off switch and AC cord, and you have a fan in the back. It looks like the filter may not be interchangeable. Actually, I take that back. It looks like we have a interchangeable small little filter on the back here. It's probably going to take a little screwdriver or something to slide that out of. And that's going to be your out in the back. Let's see a little HEPA filter or something. Your typical projector filter in the back. It's small, it's simple. But yeah, that's the design. And let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories and see what it comes with. Everything's inside this little box here. It's pretty simple. You have your AC cable. We have an HDMI cable of a kind of an average length. It's decent, so it's probably going to be about 4 feet or so. Not too bad. We have that adapter for the RCA cable I was talking about. So you got 3.5. This is a TRRS connection, so it's going to give you left, right, and video out of this. So it's breaking out the back. That's right. It's that port that's right above the headphone out, and that allows you to add, you know, VCR or an old school gaming system or anything like that to this. We have some screws here for adjusting the bottom for putting on a mount. We also have a foot here. The foot is going to be right here in the center. It's in our opinion, it's somewhat of a disadvantage because we do prefer to have 2 feet on the front for up and down. It's kind of annoying to have the one in the middle in the front because it kind of causes some wobble in the projector. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you are going to sit on the surface, you are going to only have 1 foot. If you're going to hang it, then you're fine. That's not a big deal. We have a user guide, and it's going to be in multiple different languages here. We have a lens cleaner, just a little cloth, same thing you'd use to clean your eyeglasses or anything else. We have a guarantee little sheet here that just talks about, hey, we guarantee that it's going to work. Let us know if it doesn't. And then finally, you have your remote. And this just gives you the remote capability. This is going to be for the IR receiver here or here. So hitting it from the front or directly underneath the projector, it's going to have your typical, it does have your typical buttons here, but you have your power on and off. You have your mute and mute off. You have your zoom, play, and pause. You have flip image. So that way if it's hanging upside down from a mount. You have your up, down, left, right directional pad with an OK button in the middle. You have your back menu, exit, and your volume. So it's pretty simple. It's similar to a lot of the projectors out there, and especially some of your simpler projectors, affordable projectors. It's not going to come with anything that's going to be, you know, jaw-dropping amazing or anything like that, like you'd expect out of like a $2,000 projector. But for a couple $100, it should hopefully give us a really good image. And again, we've worked with their flagship projector in the past. We've done a review with that, and it came out really nice. So. Again, we're going into this with a little bit of high expectations, while also keeping in mind that this isn't their flagship, this is a step down. So again, this is their GooDee BL98 1080p projector, and let's go see what it looks like. Okay, so what we've done here is we've plugged in the projector and got it going. We did a general focus. Now, what I was talking about in terms of zoom, it doesn't have zoom, but it does. The zoom is really dependent upon manual placement. I mean, you are the zoom. So wherever you put this determines exactly how big the image is going to be. So what we've done here is we placed it around 19 feet away, which is close to our normal projector that's installed in this theater room here that we use for a lot of our testing. And so it's about the same distance, only since we don't have the zoom control as we have for the the huge projector we have in here. It is going to run off the screen because again it's distance based. But we're going to do this just to show you that it can give you a huge image. It's running off the screen, similar to their flagship. What we've done is we turn it on. We have a USB drive we're going to stick in here in just a moment. And but this is we're going to go over the menu system first just to see what it has. So when you boot up, you get this. It shows that there's no USB device plugged in or SD card, but you do have an option to go from movie, music, photos, and text. If you want to get into more of the detailed options, you're just going to hit menu. And this is very similar to their other projector. You have a similar setting screen here. So you got picture mode, standard, change that around if you want. If you want to go with, you can change the contrast, brightness, color, sharpness, tint, and so forth by changing or going through some of the menu options here. And of course you can go to user preference and you can set all those manually. Then you have color temperature. You can change the aspect ratio. Right now it's 16:9, which is going to give you your widescreen. You have noise reduction. You have your projection mode, which is front or rear, front ceiling, rear ceiling, and this is going to determine exactly where you're putting the projector and what kind of projection screen you're using. So is it a front projected screen? Is it rear projected? Is it sitting on the table, or is it going to be hanging from the roof? So if it's ceiling, you're going to choose ceiling. Front, if you're shooting at the projector. If you're coming from behind, if you have a rear projection screen, then you're going to choose rear for either option. You do have a general control here for reducing the display size if you want to squeeze it down a little bit. And of course your HDMI mode if you have your HDMI plugged in. Then you can scroll to the right for additional menu options. You have your sound mode, which is standard, or you can change it and increase the bass or treble, but that's going to be what's coming out of the speakers in the projector. The projector does have stereo speakers, which is nice, and their flagship sounds pretty good, so we're guessing this is going to sound good too, and you're going to hear that in just a moment. You have your balance, you have your surround sound. We'll head to the next one. We have a sleep timer. That's just going to be for auto shutting off the projector after some usage. You have your on-screen display language, where you're going to choose your language. You're going to restore factory defaults. You got some blending options, and your on-screen display duration for how long it's going to stay on the screen before it times out. And of course you have a software update option in case you want to put an updated firmware file on a USB drive and stick it in the back. And that's it. So that covers you for the menu system. So we're going to go ahead and stick in some sample video content here in the USB. So now we have a USB drive in there. It does pick it up immediately. So it looks like the USB slots on the back are USB 2.0. We have some movies on here we're going to go through. So we're going to come down here and we just start this Overwatch cinematic trailer or video content that's from the game. What you're going to do is you're going to hit play, and that's going to give you full screen and bring you right into the video content that's on the USB drive. So right now we're playing an intro for all the different cinematic little clips from the game Overwatch. These are some really nice clips. This is the image you're getting. This is just standard, which is really nice. And you can hear the speakers, which are really nice. I mean, these are loud, and you're definitely going to fill up a decent sized room for this. And so you can put it in a nice den, a game room, put it in your children's room for when they're playing video games. You don't need to connect any other speaker systems. You can keep it just simple with the built-in speakers if you want. Of course, though, if you're going to want something more, if you're going to want some more oomph than this, you're going to want to use your stereo system or an external source of any kind. You can use the headphone jack out for analog if you want, and go for the headphones again. Shoot out to Bluetooth speakers if you got an adapter. But overall, I mean, this looks really good. I mean, the image quality is nice for this animation. And again, it's running off the screen. That's only because of our distance between the screen and where we've placed the projector. But this looks really nice. I'm going to go ahead and mute this so you're not so much hearing all this audio coming from it because it's pretty loud. It's not even at its max volume, so that's really nice. So frequency range coming from the built-in speakers, I mean, just like any other projector, it's going to be really simple. It's no big deal. You're not going to get a lot out of it. There's no bass. It's just mostly going to be like mids, highs, and highs. So it's just going to give you sound. It's a source. It's not an overall solution. So again, if you want more, go with the stereo system. But again, we like this. The image is really nice. It's not as good as their flagship. Flagship is better. Again, we're going to have some links in the description for that. But it does look really good for spending just a little bit less than what that other model will run. So there you go. Again, GooDee BL98 1080p projector. This retails for about $229 to $249 depending on where you buy it. We will provide multiple links, or we'll try to in the description to give you some flexibility there. It's a pretty decent projector, but you've seen it for yourself, so you can make your own decision, see if this works out for you. Again, links in the description. If you liked what you've seen here, don't forget to comment below, as well as use that as subscription button, because we'd love for you to follow us, because we got plenty more things to talk about. I know I do. I love to talk. And as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.